Boo! It's October. This month I have crafted a few pieces of Halloween decor that are extremely affordable and pretty easy for just about anybody with crafting experience. So tonight I'm going to be showing you how I did them, and there's an emphasis on I'm hoping that all of these are unique enough that you haven't seen them before. Without further ado, let's get into the tutorials. So the first idea is a papier-mâché hot air balloon, or specifically a pumpkin hot air balloon. And papier-mâché is pretty straightforward. There's many tutorials online, but I'll give you just the general overview of what I do. I have a cup here with a flour mixture. 1 part water, a ½ part flour, a little bit of salt. No glue needed. You can use paper of a wide variety of sorts. I am using an old Walmart poly mailer because that's what I have. I think pretty much everyone has these supplies in your home, so dare I say this project is like free? I don't know. Later on, you'll need paint, and then obviously I'm using a brush to apply the mixture. Now I have this little cardboard piece right here on top, the base of a hot air balloon. If you want to create the structure that adheres to your balloon, you just cut slits into the top half of a cardboard tube, and then that opens up and you can plop it, tape it down, and then begin papier-mâchéing around. And when you papier-mâché around, kind of work in rounds because the balloon is so light that the paper is very heavy in comparison, so it'll start tipping over if you don't have a decently supportive base and if you don't have general evenness with how you're applying it. This side I pretty much already finished, but this side not quite so much, so I'll show you my process. So lots of teeny tiny pieces. You have your piece of paper, your flour mixture, just brush it on and smack it. It's that simple. And you're kind of just playing paper Tetris to find all the nice little nooks and crannies that you can stick your scraps onto. So now that you can see we have kind of like a good layer starting to build up, you can go over and brush all these pieces down with your brush. So we're just kind of soaking all these loose flaps down. And there you go. So switch to an untouched area of the balloon and continue to place these layers of paper in as you slowly work your way towards the bottom, or I guess technically the top. Voila! So this is all done with the papier-mâché part of the process. I will not be able to show you what that looks like completed because I'm going to have to wait about 8 to 12 hours for this to fully dry. However, lucky for you, I have already completed 1 pumpkin hot air balloon. So this is Enoch from Over the Garden Wall, but you could do any pumpkin design you like. This little basket is just a cardboard tube, and the strings attaching the tube I just fastened with hot glue. It works perfectly fine. I painted it with acrylics, and I attached a little no damage sticky hook to the top of the balloon, and I will do the same with my ceiling. Okay, now on to the next project. What do you think? This next idea is so incredibly simple, I really debated not even showing it, but I'm going to. We're working on a wreath, but this wreath is specifically going to be Coraline inspired. This is actually probably the most costly project, and I still have more to do to it. There's just a basic wooden wreath hoop from Michael's, silk flowers also from the craft store, a large variety of buttons, and that's actually it. The base of the wreath will be made up out of flowers, and I'm going to paint these flowers black after hot gluing them to this frame. Okay, so I have my wreath hoop loaded up on the easel and I am just hot gluing flowers directly onto here. I seriously think I've had this wreath sitting around for like 3 years and I've never done anything with it. But hey, better late than never. Okay, so we have a nice little wreath of flowers. Ideally, you should really just buy these black. I just didn't have any on hand that were black, but obviously I'm going to paint these black. Pretty much the whole thing has been painted. Now I did save some green bits for the end. I think what I'll do with these green pieces is I'll do a slightly less dark blue. I'm gonna slightly adjust the color of buttons I choose to be maybe more specifically Halloween-y. I would love to create a clay version of her and add it in at some point, but I'm really trying to keep this a very last minute friendly video and total beginner to craft friendly video. So I'm gonna leave it at this level of complexity, I suppose. But other than that, you can clean up this project and head on to the next. This project is a hand-painted character cushion. I chose Greg and Wirt, again from Over the Garden Wall, but you could choose any characters from any spooky show or even horror movie that you enjoy. As you are to find out, I source free gifting groups and unwanted item groups in my local area quite frequently. The fabric for these was sourced from a pair of curtains that the gifter did not want anymore. And you can do pretty much anything with fabric medium. I'm sure many people have created pillows before with fabric medium. I just personally had never seen it done before, so I was like, give it a shot. I don't see what could go wrong. I wish I had a little more guidance to offer with this project, but it is very straightforward. You use a fabric medium mixed with acrylic paint to paint a character design directly onto your fabric, cut the shape out, sew it together, and stuff it as you would a pillow, and that's basically all. There are definitely tips I would recommend to anybody doing this. I sewed far too close to the edges, so they do look a little wonky. I would also recommend using some sort of interfacing. I'm just lazy, that's why I didn't. So give yourself more allowance than I did and something that sturdies the design a little bit more. But if you like how these came out, then you don't have to do any of those upgrades. You could just follow my exact steps and you'll get similar results. Moving on, the next project I want to show you are these pumpkin pie coasters. These are so incredibly easy to make. I am making a large batch of these for a festivity this month to give away, and I seriously created like 10 of these in a couple of days. It consists of a crust, 3 pumpkin pie slices, I guess, and a little whipped cream divot on top. Super cute, 4 coasters in total. I am going to display the general pattern on screen for anybody that does crochet, and it just looks absolutely adorable, just resting as it is. That is all I have for now, so thank you for watching. If you complete any of these, please send it to me. I would love to see your creations, and have a wonderful rest of your evening.